Well, welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer playing Football Manager 2024, and it's the console version. Specifically, I'm playing it on the PS5. And if you've not been following along, I am managing Wigan Athletic, who at the beginning of last season had an 8-point deduction for financial mismanagement. However, we miraculously managed to overcome that, and we actually won the league. And the shiny trophy, yes, I've got a brand new backdrop, and the shiny trophy is there for all to see. We won Sky Bet League One and are now building for life in the Sky Bet Championship. So it's the 1st of July in game, a very important date in Football Manager because all of the free transfers become available. And if you're running a team with, finances are a little bit limited, then the 1st of July can be bonus day because sometimes you can pick up some cracking players for no transfer fee and you're basically just going to, pay their wages basically. However, I have had quite a disaster with my PC equipment, and all of my PS5 is running absolutely fine and dandy, and all my saves on there are all nicely kept. My PC actually, I switched it on over the weekend and it just booted into the BIOS, and basically the SSD that I was using as my boot drive had, it failed completely. So anything that was on there I have lost. And if you are following along on my other channel, which is called The Gobby Gaffer, and I was managing Reading on the PC version of Football Manager, I did get the sack, so it was kind of timely in a way that I'm now looking for a new club or starting a new save. All of those saves have been lost, but they are all up on YouTube. If you want to go over there and have a look and give me a sub over there and a like, that would be great. But like I say, my PC packed up, and I've had to buy new hard drives for it. I'm now in the process of loading everything back on, and obviously this is where I process all my videos, do all my editing, and with no PC, as well as the PS5 is running, I can't upload videos to YouTube. Anyway, I think we've got all of that in hand now, and basically, I've come back today to just, what I normally do in transfer windows, I normally do all of that off screen because it can be a little bit tedious, and I normally just come back with the video, show the players that I've sold or bought and all of that kind of thing. However, with this being a PS5 save, I thought I'd come back a little bit early and treat this as a little bit of a tutorial as well. So, like I say, 1st of July, and we're going to jump in now. Now, at the end of the last video, I did say I didn't know whether I would need to make that many signings. However, having looked at the squad in more depth, a lot of the players now coming into the Sky Bet Championship are 2.5 star players, and I don't think they're going to be good enough. So I am having a little bit of a clear out, not a massive one, but I am having a little bit of a clear out. So anyway, let's have a little look then at what I've been doing. So I've already done a little bit of transfer business. I've shipped quite a few players out, players who were coming out, to the end of the contract and that kind of thing. 1 or 2 players have gone out on loan. I have a major problem with my goalkeeper, Sam Tickle. He's the England under-21 keeper. If you're not aware, I went to the under-21s game last week at the Bolton Stadium, and Sam Tickle was in goal and roundly got booed every time he touched the ball, even though everybody most people in the stadium were England fans, because it was at Bolton Stadium, Bolton and Wigan, huge rivals. And to be fair, the lad took it really well. I mean, me and my granddaughter were sat there cheering him on. But he roundly got booed, which was a bit of a shame. Anyway, back to the game. So again, if you've not been following, last season Sam Tickle broke his arm twice. He had ligament damage. Since then, he has actually come back and got another niggling injury. So even though he's a great goalkeeper, and I did get the opportunity to use the tickle tackle in the game, which was, I'm sure some of you found it funny. Some of you found it irritating. I thought it was quite funny. But I don't know whether I'm going to be able to use that anymore, because I think I am going to transfer list him and try and get rid and try and bring some money in. It's a shame, but the game just doesn't want to keep him fit. and I can't be using a backup keeper. My backup keeper, Amos, he's gone now. He was at the end of his contract, he's gone. So with that in mind, I have brought a new goalkeeper in from Arsenal on a free, and it's Arthur Okonkwo. And let's just have a quick look here. So he's a 2.5-star keeper, but he is only 22 years old. He's got 4.5, 5-star potential, this lad. And he's 6'6", very tall. Obviously, his aerial reach is very good. But for a 22-year-old, I think you'll agree, his stats are in the right place that they need to be. And the only place is, you know, for those stats to go upwards. So I think I've probably got a good first choice keeper, although I've not really started my transfer business yet. So just going to have a quick run through the squad here before we actually start having a look at transfers. So basically, if you go into squad and then go into reports, you get this screen comes up and it gives you basically an in-depth view of positions and players for those positions. Now, as you can see there, Charlie Kelman, we all know, again, if you watched the last season, Charlie Kelman was on loan. I managed to sign him. Well, he's on a 1-year contract. I think he's hedging his bets just in case we get into the Premier League. He doesn't want to be stuck on £4,500, £5,500 a week, does he? So I think he's hedging his bets, but it's not ideal, but I did want him. So we've got Charlie Kelman now, and he's going to be the striker of the season. But if you look behind that, we've not really got a lot. We've got Josh Stones, who is up and coming, 2-star potential to be 5, but he's still a young kid. And then the rest of them, well, Ben Garrity, for instance, is a defensive midfield player. So we've not really got a lot in the striking department. If we run back down into attacking mids, not too bad there. We've got Asgard and we've got Randall, which was one of my signings. So not too bad there. Across the middle, I mean, this is the formation that we've been playing. I think I am going to carry it on. So we've got M. Smith, Will Collar, Ben Garrity, Sean Clare is a fullback, so we can take him out. Sessignon is a fullback, so we can take him out. So as you can see there, again, a little bit light in midfield. And even the defensive midfield position, not an awful lot. If we run down into the defenders, Sessignon is a right-footed right wing-back, and Sean Clare the same. So we've got 2 players for that position. Left-sided, we've got Tom Pearce, but not an awful lot else. Centre-backs, Jason Kerr, I've re-signed him. I've given him a new contract, 3.5-star. He's very experienced, but, we're not going to get an awful lot more out of him. But for this coming season, I think it's a good signing. And Bondo was one of my signings, so we do have him in there. And then, as you can see, Sean Clare, well, he's my fullback. Manu Cocker, he was another one of my signings, but actually, as you know, in Football Manager, sometimes when you sign players, they come in, not as described, and Manu Cocker was one of those. So I may be looking to sell him, I don't know. And then if we have a look at the goalkeeping department, Sam Tickle, I think his days are numbered. Ben Amos is, he is still with us, but he's on a non-contract basis now. And then Okonkwo, I can't remember his name. I'm going to have to learn that one. 2.5-star. But again, goalkeeper-wise. So I think you can see from that I am going to need to do some transfer business. So I'm not going to go into too much depth in this. I'm just going to show you what I do. And basically, if you do the left trigger, go to recruitment, press recruitment. I mean, I've covered these in tutorial videos, but sometimes doing a real life, situation, you can pick things up that, you didn't think of in the tutorial. So we've done that, and we're going to do the R1 button now, and we're going to go to player search. And then in here, we can come across to edit search. And again, if you want a pointer, press the left button down, and that will give you a pointer. So if we go to edit search, and in here, we can see now that we can do the transfer status, loan status, and contract status. So if we go any and any on loan status and transfer status, and then come down to contract status, in here we can now come to expired. And like I say, it's the 1st of July, and any players who are out of contract. We've got a few of them ourselves who are now still with us. Some of them have left, some of them are still with us on non-contract, and we'll have to go in and get rid of those. But so basically now we're looking for players with expired contracts. And so we click OK, and we should get a list here of players coming up who have no contract and won't cost us any money. And as you can see there are a few. There's Willie Kambwala. He's actually wanted. So over this side here, these little green boxes will tell you. WNT means they're wanted. He's wanted by 31 clubs. Obviously, a very, very, a good player, and he's a player in, in demand. So he looks very good. 19 years old, got loads of potential. The chances are we probably wouldn't get him, but it's worth putting a bid in. So as you can see, like I say, running down here, we have got every position selected at the moment. If we wanted to say we know we need a striker, let's look for strikers and then click the OK button. So then we get in the strikers, and over this side here where it says, let's just get out of that, where it says REC, that's a scouting team rating for that player, and A is obviously a very, very good player. So again, we've got another lad here now, Maximilian Brunig, 23-year-old striker, 3-star with the potential to be 4. There's nothing there saying he's wanted, so he's just available to sign. So basically, if we click on him, we can now have a look at his stats. And looking at his stats, he's German. Whether we'll be able to sign him under the new rules, I don't know. Great balance, great jumping reach. He's 6'4", left-footed as well. He's not massively quick. He's a target forward, 6'4". Of course, he would be very strong. Whether we want to sign a target forward, I don't know, because we only play with one striker. And okay, maybe late on in a game, if we want to go to 2 strikers, have a target striker and somebody playing with him. Not quite sure about him, but what would we go in for? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I mean, if we just scroll down this list, we get into like the unknown. They've not been scouted. So basically, there's only a few players in the striking position that have been scouted. We've got an advanced forward here, Julio Martinez. Now, he's very quick, 15 for pace, 14 for acceleration. He's only 5'10", but again, if you look at the green line here, that tells you the stats that are important for the role of advanced forward. So he's got a 12 for technique, dribbling, finishing, and first touch, 13, 12, 13. So again, would we want to sign him? The other thing you can do is R1, and you can go across the top here and go to history. And this is quite interesting because it tells you what he's been doing. So last season, he played for Granada and Granada B. And as you can see from that, he didn't score that many goals and his average ratings weren't great. But he didn't play many games for them. But even when he played for Granada B and played 32 games, he only scored 7 goals. So, I don't know, maybe not. So I've scrolled down a bit and I've actually selected any position now. And there's a fairly interesting one come up. Fred Onyedinma. He's a winger, but if you see in here, he can play a lot of positions. He can even play wing back. Not great, but he can play wing back. But he's a 3.5 star, potential to be 4. 27-year-old, so he's got plenty of experience. He's not wanted by any of the other clubs. Let's just have a look at his stats. So he's 6 foot, so quite a tall lad. So he's going to be useful at corners. But as you can see there, acceleration and pace, he's as quick as you like. I don't play with wingers, but as you can see, he can actually play as an advanced forward. It's not his greatest position, but we could train him to play that. 27, it may work, it may not do. But I'm just looking down his stats here. 14 for dribbling, 14 first touch, 12 for technique. I mean, his composure's not great, but he is very quick. And he can also play in attacking mid role as well. So he's quite a useful player to have around. And I am wondering whether we should maybe go in for him. So let's see what, like I say, there's no transfer fee to play. So R1, go to contract, and we're going to go to contract offer. And this is basically, it's telling you what he wants. I mean, what he wants and what we want are probably going to be two different things. But he wants to be an important player. Obviously, the contract start date is going to be now. We're going to finalise those promises. He's happy with that and negotiate a contract. Now, he wants 13,500 a week. Is that going to be over what I want to pay? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we've just signed Charlie Kelman on a new contract. I think he's on about 5.5k a week. So this lad wants 3 times that amount. Do we want to sign somebody on that kind of money when he wants to be an important player? That's another thing to bear in mind, because if you're not playing him and he wants to be an important player, then he will start grumbling. And I don't know whether to walk away from this one. I do think he would be a versatile player for us, but with Charlie Kelman in the team, he's probably not going to start a lot of games. He can play as an attacking mid, but we do have 2 attacking mids already. I think if he'd have come in and wanted, say, 6 or 7k, okay, but I think I am going to walk away from that one. And it might be an idea just to have a quick look at the finances before we go any further. So we have a transfer budget of 422,000, wage budget of 160, committed spending at the moment is 132. So we don't have a lot to play with. We could make a budget adjustment and we could move that transfer budget into wage budget. As you can see, it gives us about another £12,000 a week. Well, that one player wanted 13.5 that we've just had a look at. So probably not the greatest idea. And given the fact as well that, I mean, sometimes it's a good idea once the 1st of July has been and gone and you've maybe found or not found players, just don't panic. Let the transfer window run, because in the final weeks of the transfer window, you can actually pick up some really good players. So we'll just keep the transfer budget there as it is at the moment, but just keep an eye on that wage budget. So I've actually selected left wing backs now because we do need a left wing back. We only have Pierce. And this lad here has come up. This, what's he called? He's a Dutch lad, Bradley de Nugier. Do we like the look of him? His marking and tackling are not great, but his physicals are all right. I mean, what you can do as well is, if you do R1 and go across the top and do player comparison, so we can go to this blue square here, blue rectangle I should say, and in there we can come across and we can compare him with Pierce, who is our left wing back. So you can get an overall view here. What I like to do is I like to go into attributes and then have a look at this. So as we can see, this is the attributes comparison. I'm not seeing an awful lot in here that, okay, we know this green bar here coming out, this means that he's better at long throws than Tom Pearce. Is that an attribute we need? Probably not. He's probably on par, I would say, with Tom Pearce, but he's 26 years old, lots of experience. I think I might put a bid in for this lad. So again, we're going to run along to contract, and we're going to go to contract offer. He wants to be a regular starter, so that's like a few places down from important player. So it's, you know, if you don't start him every game, he's not going to kick off. So we are going to finalise the promises on that one. And then it's saying that he wants 10,250 a week, which is still a lot of money. However, if you just look down at this red box, so he would fail to meet the required points threshold for a work permit, and this is the problem with not being part of the European Union now. So submitting this offer a wage 6,000 per week or above would earn him enough points. Okay, so actually if we give him 10k a week, then we'll be all right. There are ESC places available as well, which means that you can have there's a quantity of players that you can have that don't have work permits. Well, they get a work permit for like a year, but it's basically just the ESC place. And we have 3 remaining at Wigan. Like I say, quite a few players have gone, so we could allocate one of those. I mean, do we want to go for him? I mean, I don't know. I'm not too sure at this moment in time. So I have selected left wing backs now. As you know, we do need a left wing back. I had a look at 1 or 2 of these players, and they still want quite a lot of money. And also work permits are a problem. We do have this lad here, James Maxwell, who's at Doncaster. He's out of contract. He's only a 2.5 star with the potential to be 3.5 star, but probably he's going to be back up to pace anyway. He's a very fit lad, natural fitness of 18. He's marking and tackling fairly average. I mean, most of the things there that we would need from him. 22 years old. I think we might put a bid in for this lad. Let's see whether see whether we can get him in on reasonable wages. So again, I mean, you can have a look at his contract details. He's out of contract. He's on £1,000 a week. So you bear that in mind when we actually try to negotiate with him. Contract offer. He wants to be a squad player this time. So squad player, obviously, he's quite happy to be rotated in and out. So we'll finalise the promises and we'll negotiate a contract. Now, that's much more realistic, albeit he wants nearly 4 times what he's on now. But $3,700 a week, I can live with. That's actually not too bad. So if we just scroll down here, you've got to bear in mind that Doncaster will due $90,000 in compensation. I don't understand why if he's out of contract, but anyway. So the other thing to just be aware of as well is these wage rises here. 35% wage rise for top division promotion. We're going to remove that. And I might even remove the yearly wage rise and see if he'll accept that, because then we get him for. In fact, we're gonna knock the signing on, because we don't have an awful lot of money. So we're basically gonna say not to that. We're gonna lock that in with that little padlock. We're gonna say not to this, and we're gonna lock that in with the little padlock. So he's on a 2-year contract, 3.7 a week. Everything else I'm reasonably happy to give him. He's probably going to want more than that. Let's just see what happens. Now, no, he's gone for that. So that's fine. We'll finalise that deal and hopefully he will come to us. So like I say, I just wanted to jump back in there and just give you a little indication of how I go about signing players, particularly on the 1st of July. There might be no others on free contracts and I'm going to have to look elsewhere. But I've got a lot of searching and head scratching to do with that. I've signed a new goalkeeper, potentially a new left wing back, so we're getting areas covered. I probably could do, if Sam Tickle's going to go, and I will put him on the transfer list, I think, I am going to need another goalkeeper. Amos did us proud last season. Again, I'll have to look at that situation, whether we give Amos a new contract, I'm not quite sure. But just a quick indication of where we are, how I do, some of the transfer business and the things just to look out for, things like, 35% wage increase for, top division, all of that kind of things. If you can, take them out, because then you're not lumbering your club with loads of kind of extra wages, because at the end of every season, you will get a big list of all the players who've been promised 10% extra, 35% extra, and it's a big burden on the club. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll be back very shortly. Once I've done all my transfers, like I say, and you'll be able to see, hopefully you'll be able to see the first 2 games of the season and have a look at my new signings and my new squad depth. Well, I have to say, it's not been the greatest transfer window. The transfer window's not closed yet, so I've got more business to do. But surprisingly, not many players want to come to Wigan Athletic. However, in the spirit of this save being a little bit of a tutorial on FM24, the console version, I've actually found something out, and it took me a while to do it, let me tell you. So I had about 5 or 6 players who were out of contract, and well, I just wanted to set them free. I wanted to set them for release, and they were taking up wage space. I couldn't find where to do it. And also, I had a couple of players in the reserves who wanted to move into the first team squad. Again, couldn't find it. When you know, it's so easy. All you need to do is, so come over to the squad screen, and basically, let's select a player, Jason Kerr, for instance, and we come across to this right-hand panel here, and click on actions, and in there you can actually move them into a squad of we might want to move Jason Kerr into the reserves. We could do that from there. Transfer, we could do a lot of the transfer stuff. Contracts is the really important one. If you click on contracts, in there you can give them a new contract. If the contract is up, you can actually set them for release. Give them a free transfer, all of that kind of stuff. So that's where you find that. Gobby Gaffer, up here for thinking, down there for dancing. Okay, let's get stuck into some transfer news. I have still got some money left, so there probably will be more comings and goings. Sam Tickle, I mean, it's an ongoing saga with Sam Tickle. He's now injured again, and he's out for 4 to 5 weeks with a dislocated collarbone. I don't know what the game thinks it's doing. I really don't. In real life, Sam Tickle, he's an under-21 goalkeeper for England, and he doesn't get these kind of injuries. I literally have no idea. Okay, if you're going to give him one bad injury, let's have one bad injury. I just can't play him. Every time he gets fit, he gets injured again. He's on the transfer list. He's no use to me at all in the game. He's a great keeper, but no use to me. Can I sell him? No, the game won't let me do that either. So, I mean, he's worth like 6 million. I'm down to about 3.5 at the moment, but no, the game just won't let me sell him. And of course, he's injured, so nobody wants him when he's injured. Stop whinging and moaning. So as you can see there on the outgoings, Baba Adiko, central midfielder last year, he went to Oxford United for just under $1 million. Manu Cocker, the centre-back I brought in, who wasn't actually as advertised, he's gone out on loan. Kai Payne and Batoni, 2 young players who look like they've got some decent potential, they've gone out on loan as well. All right, so let's have a look at what we've done coming in. And like I say, it's not been the greatest of transfer windows, but okay, Okonkwo from Arsenal, goalkeeper, you've seen him already. We needed a left wing back. Doncaster, 89,000 for James Maxwell. Again, I'm not going to read any of his stats out. You can all do that. I don't think he'll be a regular starter, but then again, you never know. We've got Pearce out there. Last season we had Chambers, who was on loan. Obviously, he's gone back. So we've got James Maxwell now. But Pearce, actually, when he played, was a very good provider. As you know, with this formation that we play, the wing-backs do provide the width in the team. So anyway, James Maxwell, new left wing-back. We needed strengthening at centre-back, and Mark Conley from Derry City, 53,000. He's not my usual kind of signing. He's 32 years old, this lad, so I tend not to sign older players, but he's 6'1". His mentals are a bit off the scale, and, well, he can head a ball, and he can mark and tackle. So what more do you need? Loads of experience as well. Derry City again for Adam O'Reilly, £100,000. Central midfield player. This lad is very determined, obviously, as you can see there. But we do need bodies in midfield because we are a very midfield heavy team. So we do need bodies in midfield. And 23, ball winning midfield player. But he can actually find a pass. And he's, what's his flares? Flares 12. So I think he'll do a decent job for us in there. Couple of loan players next. Miles Pert Harris from Brentford. And he's, well, he can play, weirdly, he can play centre mid, attacking mid and striker as well. We'll get to strikers in a second. But again, this lad's going to play. We have 2 attacking mids already. But with the way it's the game is injuring players at the moment, who knows? So I think we do need cover in all of those three positions. Well, when I say I think, I know. So Miles Pert Harris there is coming in, 21-year-old on loan, and looks to have, he's a 3-star with a 5-star potential, so he looks to have a great career in the game. To Norwich next, again another loan player, and it's Adabayega, I think that's how you pronounce his name. 20-year-old centre back, can also play DM, 6'3". He's only a young lad, but again, I think he will turn out to be a very, very good player for Norwich, this lad. I mean, who knows? We might end up signing him at the end of the season. Depends what they want for him. But he's more bodies at the back, which we desperately need. And to Real Madrid next. Yeah, we're dealing with Real Madrid. We're going up in the world. 200,000 for Mario de Luis. And Mario de Luis is a goalkeeper. Yeah, I know we've already signed one goalkeeper, but like I say, I personally think in FM24 you need 3 top goalkeepers. Now that's an impossibility, because while you're playing one goalkeeper, the other 2 are not going to be happy. But that's just the challenge that FM24 is throwing at you. So anyway, this 22-year-old Spanish lad comes in, and we've got him on one of these ESC work permit things. So I think he's going to be a great goalkeeper. 22, he's very young for a goalkeeper. I think he probably will end up being our starting keeper now. Sam Tickle is out of the picture altogether now. He's just, even if I don't sell him, I can't play him. I can't. The game is just injuring him so much, and I've never ever, in all my time playing Football Manager, I have never seen the game injure a player so much. And when it's a midfielder or, like a defender, it's not too bad. When it's your goalkeeper, it's a very specialised position, and the game is definitely throwing me some curveballs. So if we just have a look at the reports screen again, so as you can see there, Charlie Kellman, top of the shop for strikers. We've had all the lists come out of, like the expected top strikers for the season and all that kind of thing. Best play. We don't have any of them, so I don't know how we're going to do. But if you remember last season, we started off with a -8 points and we won the league. So who knows? But anyway, as you can see there, Pert Harris? He actually comes into the reckoning. I do need another striker. We've got 2 young lads, Josh Stones and Tony Weston, who are promoted. 5-star potential and look very, very good players for the future. I don't know. They may come on, hit the ground running. I'm not sure. It's difficult to say. Attacking mids, again, we've got Asgard and Randall in there. Well, that Pert Harris can play there as well. Midfielders, that O'Reilly that are brought in, he's actually not showing on there. But our star rating as a team now is very, very good. Our first 11, 12, 13 players, the star rating is very, very good. And then as you can see there in defence now, we've got left side Tom Pearce, we've got Maxwell to back him up. On the right hand side we've got Sessignon and Clare, and then centre backs we've got 4 really good centre backs now: Kerr and Bondo, Connolly and Adabayega. And I know this episode is in danger of becoming War and Peace, and I don't really want it to become War and Peace, but we are going to watch a game. I think after all of that transfer business and all the little hints and tips I've given for the FM24 console PS5 version, I think it's only fair we watch a game. First game of the season. We've had a very good pre-season, by the way, but I've been playing very lowly teams just to get the new lads used to how we play. But we have a home game to start the season, so at home advantage, and it is Middlesbrough, which will be a very tough test for us. So I think we're going to get stuck into that game. Well, welcome to the dugout for this really tough challenge, I think, against Middlesbrough. And we have 1 or 2 new faces in the team, so we are allowed a bench of 9 in the Championship, so that hopefully should help me. And I am getting a fairly decent squad together now. Like I say, probably 1 or 2 more coming in before the transfer window shuts. But anyway, we've got the new keeper in today, De Luis. Let's have a look at him. We actually only have 2 injuries now. Pearce, the left back, and, well, Sam Tickle. Less said about that, the better. But the new lad Maxwell comes in, left wing back. Let's see what he can do. We have Connolly, the new centre half in. So the back four is Maxwell, Kerr, Connolly and Sessegnon. Weirdly, and I'm not quite sure how this has happened, but O'Reilly in centre mid there, he's actually become okay. He can play with Matt Smith, which is very odd because he's a brand new signing. They must have formed a really quick relationship in the pre-season friendlies. So the midfield four are Collar, O'Reilly, Matt Smith and Garrity. We have Asgard as the shadow striker and superstar Charlie Kelman up front. And I'm going to whisper this very, very quietly because, as we all know, Football Manager is always listening. Please can we keep Charlie Kelman fit all season? I don't think they heard. Let's get stuck in. So quite a decent crowd in today, and hopefully we'll give them something to cheer about. Hopefully. So we're just seeing the teams displayed there, and we will get through the kick-off very, very quickly now. There's the, well, there's no point in showing the league, is there really? But there's some decent teams in there, let me tell you, and obviously teams who have fallen out of the Premier League. They are going to have parachute payments. They're going to have Premier League experienced players. So it's going to be a very, very tough season, this, I think. But we do get the first highlight. 4 minutes on the clock. Charlie Kelman there. Sessegnon plays the ball to the new lad, Connolly. Connolly just playing the ball to Kerr there. And we're just keeping it nice and simple at the moment. Collar to Kelman. Kelman's going to have a dig. And it's just over the bar. So just approaching the half-hour mark now, and loose ball there into their penalty area, and that is absolutely useless. So Connolly here is going to mop that one up, and I have gone on to an attacking mentality now because I'd like to get the season underway with a three-point game, but I think it's going to be tough this season. I mean, to be fair, last season I didn't really expect to happen what did happen, but that's nice. Oh, and the keeper palms that one away. Yeah, last season was very, very unexpected. Who knows? I can't see it happening this season because there are some very, very tough teams in here. And like I say, you know, relegated Premier League teams, that's never going to be easy, is it? But I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Bit of ping pong going on. O'Reilly eventually picks the ball up. Back to Collar, Maxwell, Garrity. I'd like to see Maxwell hit the ground running. Like I say, the width in the team is provided by Maxwell and Sessegnon in this game. And Sessegnon is he's proving the point. He's actually providing the width. And a shot there, and it just go. Well, I think the keeper got another hand to it. So we are peppering the Middlesbrough goal at the moment, but we're just failing to penetrate it. 27 minutes, another corner. Asgard throws the ball in the box, and Asgard again. What's Asgard going to do? I think he might have a... Oh no, it's been given as offside. So 6 shots, 3 on target. Middlesbrough have come back into the game a little bit. But again, it's another highlight to Wigan. And that is saved again by the keeper, is it? Did we get a corner for that? No, that just went round the post. Just coming up to half-time. We got a free kick there, floated into the box. Charlie Kelman has come very wide for that ball, and that looks like a penalty to me. Right, I did get this wrong if you did watch. So, choose Kelman. We will choose Kelman. I think I've done that right this time. I'm choosing Kelman. Charlie Kelman steps up, and FM24 penalties are very, very hit and miss. But actually, he sends the keeper the wrong way. We're 1-0 up, and you know, I mean, all us football people know, don't we? The best time to score a goal is just before half-time or just after, and well, we've done the former. 1-0 up, going into half-time, and Kelman there, very decisive, sends the keeper the wrong way, and we are into half-time. So we're going to say we're pleased, and we're going to deliver that team talk. And let's get the second half underway. 63 minutes, 3 changes. The young kid Weston has come on up front. Randall is now the shadow striker, and another one of the new signings, Pert Harris, has come on as the box-to-box in place of, I think it was a Collar. Yes, Collar. 74 minutes now. My assistant is saying that Sessegnon is looking very tired. Unfortunately, both of my wing backs, so Claire is injured, Pierce is injured on the other side, so I have no backup wing backs today. But anyway, he's saying replace him with Mbondo, so that's exactly what we'll do. Well, we come back, 74 minutes now, and it's a Middlesbrough highlight. And obviously what's happened there? He's not given a penalty, has he? Actually, it was a penalty. So Middlesbrough have a penalty to draw it 1-1. We've had 10 shots, 4 on target, an XG of 1.55. A new keeper, DeLuise, he dives to his right, and not only does he save the penalty, he just takes the ball out of the air. So I have gone to a cautious mentality now. Hopefully we're going to see this game out. Well, Middlesbrough have come back into the game, an XG of 1.20. So in the last 20 minutes, they've doubled their XG. But we do come away in the first game in the Championship with a 1-0 win against Middlesbrough. Very narrow, but importantly, 3 points. And we are going to give them a delighted for that. Absolutely chuffed to little mint balls. That is a great result. And there endeth today's humongous episode. Yep, sorry, it's been a bit long, but transfer windows generally are. And also, like I say, I'm trying to use this save as a bit of a tutorial as well for any players who are coming into Football Manager new and but are just playing the console version. So we're learning together. I gave you a tip at the beginning. It took me about 2 hours to suss that out. Yeah, sometimes a gobby gaffer, not as quick as you would think. But anyway, a bit of a useful tip, I think. And I did Google it. Nobody knew what I was talking about. There was nothing on Google at all. Anyway, I found it in the end. And like I say, I'm using this FM24 console version of the game as a little bit of a hint, tips and tutorial. And hopefully I'm passing on a few of those for you. Okay, like I say, it's been a very long episode this, and well, all of this waffling, it's making it even longer. We'll see you very shortly, and let's see how Wigan do in the Championship. Can we get Wigan in the Premier League? It seems a very, I don't know, Wigan, Premier League, that sentence just doesn't seem right at all, but who knows, after last season, anything could happen. Stay tuned.